Hi guys, welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we were recently asked to make a restaurant menu type card like this with a couple of columns there and a little line in the middle, and we needed to make it responsive. On tablet it's going to have two columns, and if we switch to mobile it's going to have one column. Really easy to do. Got to use one tiny bit of code to keep our two columns there on the tablet, but apart from that, very straightforward. So let's get started. I'm going to flip back to desktop mode. I'll delete what we've got here and we'll start from scratch. Okay, I've got a section here. Let's create a new row. Little green button to create a row. My top row I'm going to use a single column for. This is going to be for our title here. And let's put a blurb in. It's got a title already in there. Don't want any content in this. And I'm going to use the tilde key. Let's say our selection. Another little tilde key for a flourish on the end there. Great. I don't want any image and icon, so I'm going to get rid of that. If you need to link it to somewhere, you can do so down below here, but I don't particularly want to put a link on mine. You can link the title itself or the whole module. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. Okay, well that doesn't really look very interesting. So I'm going to click on the little paintbrush icon. It's going to take us straight to our title text there. Divi's got a huge amount of fonts. The one I want to use today is called Playfair. So I'm going to type Playfair in there. There it is, Playfair display. Fantastic. Font weight, I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to make it a lot bigger, say 45 pixels, something like that. Obviously you make yours how you want to. And I'm going to italicize it to give it a little bit more flourish there. Great. I also want to pop it in the middle. Great. Okay, let's save that. I'm going to grab this row and put it at the top to get all this junk out of the way here. Grab the little cross up at the top, left click, pull it to where you want it, and release. Okay, well, we want to give this a background color so it stands out from the background color of the page. So I'm going to go into the row itself. I'm going to go down to black background. I want a kind of light grey for mine, so I'm going to click on the three dots, get the palette open. Let's use something like that one. Maybe a little too dark. Perhaps the one before. Yeah, that works great. Fantastic. Well, that's our little title there. Let's add a new row now. Green button yet again. This time I'm going to put two columns in it. And we'll have our two little lists. I'm going to use a simple text module for our columns here. There's a text module. I've got a little list of appetizers over here. I'm going to pop them in. There we go. Again, that doesn't look too interesting. So I'm going to again hit the little paintbrush. I'm going to use that same font. Not sure why they stopped it. They used to have a recent font section up here, but again I'm just going to put in Playfair or Play and it should bring it up for me. There it is down there. Again, I want to italicize it because we want to stand out a bit. I think I'm going to make mine black, a little bit bigger. Obviously adjust yours to the size you want. I want them to be a lot more spread out, so I'm going to go to text line height down below. I'm going to slide this up until it's something like I want it. Something like that's going to work for me. Great. Now on the right hand side of this module, I'm going to put a little line. So to do that, I'm going to go down to border. I'm going to select the right hand side one right there. You can do them all separately. I'm going to give it a single border. Not sure I want it to be black, maybe a grey of some sort. Let's make it 8F. That's okay, and we'll put our background in so you can see what's going on. So let's just save that, and we'll put the same color background in as we've got for our title up here. To do that, I'm going to go into the row, down to the background. Again, hit the little 3 dots to get the color palette up. Was it that one? No, that was too dark. That's what we had originally. It was that one. There we go. And it's a pretty seamless section there. But of course I don't want these to be all the way over the left hand side there. So we'll save our row here. We'll go back in there. We can adjust that with a bit of spacing. I'm going to go down to spacing. Left hand side. I'm going to give this, I think I used about 35%. Obviously adjust it, 35 and the percent sign. Yeah, that's about right for me. Like I say, when you're happy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there, I'm going to clone this module, so we've got 2 identical modules, 2 little squares right there. I'm going to drag one of them across, doesn't matter which one because they're identical. I'm going to go into this one. I'm going to put my new list in there. And this one, I don't want a border on the right, I want it to be on the left. So I guess I can leave that there. Again, into design, border. The right border, I'm going to take that back down to 0. Left border, I'm going to give it 1. And again, that same color, which is the 8F. If I move this out of the way, we've got 2 little lines there. When we put them together, they'll be a little more defined. So let's say that obviously I don't want the 2 lines, I want them to be together. So to get them together, I need to reduce the gutter width on this row. So let's go into our second row here, over to design and sizing, use custom gutter width. I'm going to flip that little switch, drag this all the way to the right. We've now got 1 line and a list both sides. Great. Well, I want to give our top section a little more on the top and this bottom row a little more on the bottom. So I'm in the second row right now. If I roll this up a bit so you can see the bottom. Still in design, I'm going to close up sizing, I'm going to go to spacing, and I'll give it a bit of padding on the bottom. Let's say 80 pixels. Obviously adjust to taste. That's fine. And for the top, let's give it 80 pixels on the top too. So we're going to our top row here. Design, spacing, padding top, 80 pixels. Great, well that works for me. But if we look at it on tablet, if we go down to the left hand side, if you haven't got that open down here, make sure you've got your little purple button open. We can change to tablet view. I mean that's okay, but I still want 2 columns really. And on mobile we'll take another look. Again, we've got way too much padding on the side for the mobile there. I guess we could centralize that text if we wanted to, and our selection's not quite fitting in there. So to fix it so it's still 2 columns on the tablet, let's go back to tablet view a moment. I'm going to go into our second row that did have the 2 columns in it, and it's important you do this in a row. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to go over to the advanced and the custom CSS. If I just move this slightly to the right, you'll be able to see what goes on when I do this. I'm going to go to the custom CSS there. In the main element, here's our little bit of code. I'll put this down below, but it's very simple. Display, colon, flex. And we got our 2 little columns back. That's okay. I could reduce that padding on the left a little bit, I think, on tablets so they're more central, or take the writing down. Let's just reduce the padding. So still, we'll say what we've got in the row. I'm going to go into our first module here, over to design and spacing. Okay, it's important you roll over the dark writing. This is common to all Divi modules. The thing you want to affect, which is padding in our case, hit the little mobile phone icon. So on desktop we got 35. On tablet I'm going to set that to maybe 25. Yeah, that looks right to me. And we'll do the same for this one. into the module, design spacing, make sure we get up the tablet version, tablet, we'll change that to 25. Fantastic. Let's have a look on mobile now. Yeah, to me that's not going to work with 2 columns on mobile unless we really take that writing down a lot smaller, so I'd rather it was just 1 column. To achieve that, we'll just save our little text settings there. We're going to go back into the row itself, not the top one with our title there, the second one with the 2 columns. And we're going to go over to Advanced and Custom CSS again. Again, this is important. You roll over the dark writing there, get up the responsive styles there, go to mobile. This time I want it to go back to normal, so it's 1 column. So I'll just say display block, and as you can see it's popped it back into 1 column, which I think works a lot better. Another thing I've noticed here, we still got those borders on, and I don't want those when we've not got 2 columns. There's that one, and there's a right one up here. So let's go in and take care of that. And I think I'd like to have this centralized perhaps on mobile. So let's go into our first column, design, border, border width. Again, we need to make sure we bring up the responsive style. We're on this one. And we've got a border on the right there, which is border right up here. Make sure you select the border right. At the moment it's 1 pix. I'm going to take it down 0 pix, and we'll flip back, make sure it's still there. Yep, it's still there on that one. And let's perhaps centralize that text while we're here. So still in the design, we can go up to text, roll on down, text alignment. On phone, let's pop it in the middle. We can take that spacing away on the left hand side there. So let's close up text, go down to spacing, make sure we're on that one, and padding left, let's put in a 0 there. Those are all in the middle now. Let's do similar for the one below. Going to go in there, design. Guess we can do the text first. Go into the text, text alignment, make sure we're on mobile, pop it in the middle, go down to spacing, make sure we're on mobile again for the padding, put a 0 in there. Great, they're all nicely lined up, but we still got that little border on the left this time. So just below is border, I'll click on left border this time. There it is. Get up a little response, make sure we're on mobile, take that down to 0. Great, let's save that. So we've got this on mobile, which works quite well, but our selection's still too big there. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to hit the little paintbrush, take us straight to it. I'm just going to take it down in size till it fits. And with these responsive elements, once you've got it live, it's really important to check them on the actual devices themselves, on phones and tablets, because you may need to readjust. This will get you pretty close, but you do want to check it on an iPad or iPhone, whatever devices you have. Great, so that works on the phone. Let's save that. Let's go to tablet. That's great, we've got our little border back. And there's a little discrepancy in our line there. So if I was to take that dumpling off or add a bit of space to the bottom of here, those 2 lines would be the same. So I'm going to take that dumpling off this side perhaps. I did have 30, I've obviously not copied one correctly. If I take that off there, there we go. Or the other option is to just give it a couple of lines of space, and you see that line getting longer there. So if you've got more on one side or the other, you can just by just using your return key. That's better. We've got great. We've got that line going properly now. Great. And let's go back to desktop. And there it is. That works perfectly for me. So let's save our draft, publish if you're ready, and let's exit the Visual Builder. So there we have it, guys. There's our little restaurant style menu with 2 columns. I hope that's answered that question. I hope you found this useful today. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them or make a demo video for you. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.